This is our 17th flight to Washington, D.C. On this flight, we have 24 veterans. 12 of those veterans will be boarding here in Tyler, and the plane will then stop in Monroe, Louisiana to pick up the additional 12.
Just our way as a company of thanking you for the service and all the sacrifice that you've done for our country.
Including this trip, we'll have had the privilege of escorting 486 veterans from 116 communities from Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas.
Welcome aboard.
I'm Louie Gohmert. Yes, Gohmert. I'm the congressman from East Texas.
John Lee.
This was my hero when I was a little kid because it was during the Second World War and I was a very young teenager. And we all talked about the big generals.
It's now called Statuary Hall, but I was telling you downstairs about the first room the British came into. This was it.
He's my very most favorite character in history. He really has a real great history for the state of Oklahoma. I did not realize there were that many here. I thought a few hundred instead of a few thousand. I visited the Aldi Murphy grave just because he's a favorite movie star of mine. He was the most decorated veteran in World War II.
Grew up with me in this little country town, but his sister and I went to school together, and he was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Truman. He was the most decorated soldier to come out of Arkansas ever. Scooter Burke.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Staff Sergeant Privy of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, Guard of Honor, 2 of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing.
Appreciate you saved the world. Thank you.
You've given me more credit than what I really deserve.
I was the first Marine to be enlisted in the Marine Corps from the state of Maryland after the war was declared in December the 7th. But we went in and Okinawa. But the commanders put us in on low tide when we should have been on high tide, and we had to wade the last 18 yards in. They butchered it. Experiencing things like knowing what these guys did, it just takes your breath away. You can't say.
East Korea, though, not World War III.
Yeah, you're older than me.
I was on troop transport, and we took the Marines to Iwo Jima and let them off. And then we left, but before the battle was done. They were great men, and we lost a lot of them there. But it was some experience. But nevertheless, I'm glad I survived and got through all of it. But I was in the South Pacific over 1,000 days at sea.
Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
When I got to Pearl Harbor, well, they dropped that atomic bomb on me. I see sailors and Marines down on the dock hollering and screaming. And I asked him, I hollered, what's going on down there? He said, the war is over.
I think it's mighty awesome, I tell you. I just didn't hardly realize something this huge.
I remember when I come underneath the San Francisco Gate Bridge coming back from Korea, they had a big sign underneath the bridge saying, Kilroy's been here. And there's Kilroy.
Well, it's bigger than life, and I remember his speech that he gave on the balcony about the civil rights and about peace. And he was a peaceful man. And he didn't believe in riots and whatnot. He did it with peace. And that's what we need, is peace.
That's my friend.
That's right.
Hey, my buddy.
Okay, buddy. How you doing there, old buddy?
I do remember the fireside chats, listening to the radio. When he was going to make a speech, we always gathered around the radio, the family did, to listen to see what he had to say. I remember it well.
Miss Roosevelt, she stood right behind me and was giving this speech. They flew her into San Diego or one of those places there, and she gave a speech, and I stand right by alongside of her.
There's a way, my boy. There's a way.
I mean, not Lady and Larry. I'm saying Andy, I mean Larry.
There was 5 of our heavy cruisers put up against 5 Japanese heavy cruisers. And they sunk 4 of ours. Mine was the only one that didn't sink. But we were shot up pretty good. And then a year later, we were sunk by Japanese aircraft, land-based torpedo bombers.
It's mine grows here, and they take up part of the deck. And they come out here and pick up cargo, pick it up, and it goes down in that hole.
There's an officer at the photo lab in Alameda talked me into staying. And that sounds kind of crazy, but that's what happened. And he wanted me to stay and run the enlargement rooms. Had about 50 photographers in there.
I was 19 when I enlisted, 23 when I got out. And at that time, when the Korean War started, all of us that had just gotten out of high school, that's all we wanted to do is just go enlist. We wanted to go in, we wanted to be a part of it. We thought it'd be over in 6 months. It was a police action. Didn't happen that way.
Do you know that person from something?
Cousin.
Cousin? What do you think?
Fantastic. My very favorite place in my second against Vietnam. This man gave his life to free people. And those people that over there on the Vietnam, they gave their lives to free people.
absolutely cool.
Boy, am I glad.
Well, it started on June 25th, 1950. I joined the Navy on June 23rd, 1950, 2 days before. When we got off the train, we were going to San Diego for boot camp. When we got to Los Angeles, the headlines were about 2 inches high, announcing that the North Koreans had crossed the 38th parallel.
Those old ponchos, those things never did fit. They gave one size fits all. The 5'3" guys had them dragging the ground. The rest of us had them up above our knees.
I was several places all along the parallel and above it. I was in the Iron Triangle at the last of my tour over there. Sometimes you want to forget it all, but then again, it comes back alive all the time.
Yes, it is exactly what I remember it looking like. Those guys went through a lot, and they didn't get treated right when they came home.
That's my idea of a memorial, though. I mean, real people there, you know. And this wall is phenomenal. It's all etched there, and those faces are so realistic. They're real faces.
Good bit right there. That's it right there.
Oh, he just got it.
My daughter found out about it some time ago, and she done some research or something on it and found out it was me, so.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good for all the Korean veterans, you know. All of them deserve as much as anyone else, you know. I can't take credit for no more than any one of them, you know. They're all sacrificed, you know. The ones that sacrificed is the ones that's not worth it.
I was in radio maintenance. We changed the frequency every day so that the pilots would know, get their information on where to go, what to do. Never did have any actual combat, but it was bad enough being over there. But it was a real experience. I never regretted a minute of it.
I was sent to the Pacific to be a flight line mechanic. I was there when the first atomic bomb was dropped on the 6th day of August, 1945. And in fact, I was on R&R in Hawaii when that happened. And then went back, and I think about 6 days later, they dropped the second one on Nagasaki.
Yes, sir. That closest one with all the square windows?
That's right.
a veteran here, Mr. Hilton Lytle. Mr. Lytle made Sadie's violin.
I thought it was beautiful. I mean, no other word for it except it was just wonderful.
These past few weeks, we have been collecting letters from school kids throughout our market area. So we have letters from school kids for each one of the veterans, and it's not a small package.
Ooh, hey, that's heavy.
That's a big surprise. I mean, hey, you don't expect that from young kids. that is so cute. That's from Sarah.
Each one of these are individually addressed.
I'll see you on your birthday.
I had a brother killed in that before. He was in North Africa. Quite a story, but just take things as it comes. Whatever the outcome is, try to enjoy it.
These wings would go up, just go up, take up less space. Yeah, that's what we used to do. We unloaded those airplanes down in Ireland called Espiritu Santos.
The paint that you see glistening from having just been freshly painted in the evening of August 5th, 1945, is the same paint that you see up there on the nose of that aircraft.
I think he's from West Monroe, Louisiana.
Your favorite part of this trip?
The whole thing. Nope. I liked it all. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it all.
Give us an additional treat. If you've ever sang on an airplane before, I wanted to ask y'all to help me.
We had a mail call last night with letters from the school kids back home, and you got a great big packet of those. Well, we have another packet today. We know how important mail call was while you were in the service, and so today we have another mail call for you. These are letters from your family and close friends.
Oh, good grief, that's emotional. I didn't think he cared anything about me. I could cry.
They're all so sweet. I'm good. I don't deserve all of that.
You make me happy with you'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Come in here. I missed you. Oh!